On this Hey Cuz podcast, we welcome a woman whose life and work reflects deep compassion and resilience. Darlene Leysath has experience as a seasoned social worker, therapist, nonprofit leader, and founder of Cornerstone CDC. For over 3 decades, she has supported her community through mental health care, disaster response, wellness outreach, and advocacy for the underserved. Darlene recently walked through her own experience with personal loss, and now she's turning her journey of grief into purpose with a new podcast on the way and a series of powerful community wellness events. Darlene is creating safe, healing spaces for others to find strength, connection, and restoration. Family, please help me welcome Darlene Leysath. Hey, and thanks for joining us again today on the Hey Cuz podcast, your favorite cuz cast, where you are either a real cousin or a play cousin. And today we have she might be a real cousin. We can figure that out. That's why you got to listen to the end. Her name is Darlene Leysath. You've heard all about her. Darlene is such an advocate in the community of wellness, for wellness and mental health and disaster recovery. And she has over 30 years experience as a therapist, a social worker, a nonprofit leader in and around Duplin County, North Carolina. So she is a mom. She is a friend. She is a woman who is on a mission to do a lot of things. And as a former owner of the Cornerstone CDC nonprofit, Darlene has dedicated her life to helping people through crisis and healing. And we're going to talk a little bit today about an event that she has going on in this coming August, and how it's going to bring hope and healing to a community of people. Her mission is rooted in service. So let's not first get that twisted. And today she's going to share some powerful wellness information about this event and bring all of us up to speed. And one of the things I do want to hear from her about mostly is this new podcast that she has coming up. Because after you've had a life of doing all of those things, Darlene, Miss D, as I like to call her, you are vetted and fit for the moment. And I'm excited. I can't wait to see the podcast. But so welcome to Hey Cuz Podcast. Let's give her another round of applause. Hey, what's up, Cuz?
What's up, my cousin? My real true cousin.
How you doing?
I am blessed. I am happy. I am peaceful, and I am whole on this day because I don't look like what I've been through. And I am just so honored to be with you today to share just a little tiny bit about my journey. It's a journey of a 43-year plus journey back to Wallace, North Carolina.
Well, yes. Now, when I talk to Darlene, we can talk for hours. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
But I had to, as hard as it was, I had to condense stuff down into like 3 questions for you. And I'm just about to pop out of my seat because I feel like I don't know the answers, but the way that you flow in conversation, I can see where things may go. And so I'm going to try to beat back tears as I hear from you about especially this wellness conference. But let's talk about you a little bit. You've worked in so many areas, in so many corners, not to as a play on words with the Cornerstone organization that you had, but you have worked in so many corners of the community, from mental health to disaster relief, especially. That is so important. What keeps you grounded through all of it?
My faith in the Lord. And I'm going to just even take it back further than that. On behalf of Aggie Pride, where my journey started, from Aggie Pride, Greensboro, all the way left me and moved me to New York.
I'm gonna let
and New York,
yes, okay, because it's a ram over here. But I'm gonna let you get away with the Aggie Pride just for a whole
okay, all right. And so, so my journey started in New York. Of course, it started in North Carolina, along with Wallace, growing up in a small rural town of Wallace, North Carolina, with the greatest parents in the whole wide world. The late Mrs. Joyce Carlton and the late Mr. Edward Carlton and the late Juanetta Carlton, former Mayor Pro Tem that, and on behalf of the late of my relative, the relatives that are no longer with us, relatives that helped, relatives that gave everything that they could give to anyone that came to them. Back in the days, we were able to, as children, to go and be missionaries in the community. So that was just like shaped me to being the person that I am today. That I got into the field of social work because hurting people are hurting. And then me as a child growing up, I'm talking now, but as a child, I didn't really talk a lot. I cried a lot. And I'm trying to keep my tears together right now,
Yeah.
because I have a lot to talk about, because I've been able to reach out to so many people that have been hurting, people who have had disasters, that have lost everything.
Yeah.
And do you really know? And that is the purpose of my podcast. I know I'm jumping ahead.
That's
I
okay.
want,
Jump wherever you want to jump. We
yeah,
family.
right, we're
That part.
family. I want to give the information out and making sure that people have places to go. And that was the purpose of my nonprofit. That was the reason why I started my nonprofit, making sure people had resources, making sure people could get connected, making sure that our economic sustainability was intact, that we could work with seniors who had unmet needs, seniors that, perhaps maybe did not have the education, but again, they needed different kind of skills to navigate when I came back to Duplin County 36 years ago. So it's been a big, beautiful, wonderful journey,
Yes.
taking it
Yes.
and moving it forward, and working as a therapist, working as a life coach, working as a fitness instructor, having a business of fitness and well-being, because your wellness is your health. Without wellness, you got to know that. And that's what I want to put across on today, that my journey has
You
been
know,
about.
your I'm sorry to cut you off. Your family have always been committed to community, and I got a chance to meet your mom several times. She gifted me a wonderful blanket that I sleep under every single night. I don't know how she managed to find a single down comforter, but y'all, that is the comforter to have. I mean,
Yes.
but it's not so much the what is given as it is the who is given, and in the person, the who the person is, if they give the right gift, it says that they've thought about it. And so for something, and it's been years, I've had it, oh gosh, I want to say maybe 5 years now at least. Yes, definitely, maybe longer. But the thing is also your sister, both that have gone away, Miss Lynetta, she was a very sweet woman. And you say Mayor Pro Tem, she was also the first African American woman
Yes.
to be a city councilwoman in your town.
Yes.
So she was not only historic, but she was loving and kind. And I remember each time I was around her, she was always bringing something. Yeah, take this, take this. You need some of this, you need some of that. So I did not meet you until after I met your sister and your mother. So I've been touched somewhat by just their drive and their commitment to just loving on people. So you definitely have it honest, and so does your daughter Ashley, who we won't mention because she's in the background over there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But but tell us about the vision that inspired you. I mean, I know that first of all, how you were able to cope. You said your faith with your own personal journey. I'm sure that led the way for you to be able to move beyond this, and especially into this new phase that you're going to get into, in helping others with grieving and with all the things that they need to know. But why is community centered wellness? You said it a little bit, but in particular to this event, why is community wellness so important, especially in rural areas? Now, this is not political, so I want to be clear here, but we all were touched by what happened in Texas in the recent floods. For someone who actually is hands-on with community, How does something like that impact you? Do you, what was your initial thought when you saw that? How was your heart prepared for what's coming?
Well, when I saw that, my heart became heavy because not only that storm, but from Hurricane Sandy, from Hurricane Maria, from Hurricane Floyd and Fran, we have been on the front end in helping folks that have lost everything.
Yeah.
And when I would go to those states and places, and because my work is universal, it's around the whole United States that I go different places when people lose uh, and they lose items, stuff, resources. We're there to be that hope, to bring that hope, to listen, to hug, to perhaps maybe even give a drink of water, uh, to help that person understand that my community is still intact. There are still people here that cares. And
Mm-hmm. That's
this
powerful.
is where I'm at right now today, is that our communities need wellness. Wellness in mind, body, spirit, and soul, because we have been impacted by several severe hurricanes right here in southeastern North Carolina, and most recently Western North Carolina. Most recently, a couple of weeks ago in Durham, through the flooding. And I've been getting calls, and I've been collaborating with our partners
Mm-hmm.
that folks have lost everything.
Yeah.
People are displaced. They have no housing. Some have no food. And making sure people are connected. And on top of that, the grief that comes in with the loss. You know, it's the loss of food items through a storm, but there's so many other losses that I've gone through. But again, as Maya Angelou says, I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now. So
Yes.
my goal now is to make sure communities are receiving the resources that they need, um, that communities are receiving help, making sure that we're getting the information out. So that will be the purpose of my podcast, the purpose of our upcoming event that's coming forward next month, August the 9th, 2025 at Rockfish AME Church in the town of TT, North Carolina, which I'm proud to say on behalf of Reverend Tart, to have a wellness day where we will dive deep, not too deep, into
Mm-hmm.
grief. Because I want to say before I close out today, I am a grief survivor and I'm still surviving. I
Yes.
have grief triggers, they come and they go, but the Lord is still right with me. And meeting you and all the energy that you bring through your song, your radio program, as well as your podcast, and just your inspiration in bringing and wanting to bring so much brightness to our communities, because our communities is our it's the fabric, it's who we were made of, it's our ancestors
Mm-hmm.
that marched through it.
That's
Now
right.
we're walking through it. We're walking through those shadows now. And so that is my hope to do
Well,
just
I'm glad you mentioned the wellness day, and thank you for sharing your heart, because we wanted to make this simple and sweet. And I think that the place that you're having at Rockfish AME Church in Teaching, North Carolina is the perfect spot. It sits there almost to the corner. So it's like it's on the almost on the corner, on the intersection of two main highways there. So it's almost like a cornerstone space for
yes,
this cornerstone effort that you are putting forward. So
yes.
we're going to get the flyer put up there. This is the event that Ms. Leysath, as I won't call her Miss D, is hosting on August the 9th. And if you see there, I mean, think about this: grief loss. That's grief management. You never think about grief management, but I was sharing this information with a friend of mine just yesterday, and she said, that was so helpful to me when I went there and I encouraged my sister, not talking about yours, but just talking about how she encouraged a relative of hers to go and get some help, because she said we never get closure, and some people never get some of the things, while you're going through the motions, you think you've done all the things, and then when it hits you, you realize that you are left empty without. And so it sounds like your event is going to be proactive instead of people waiting until that time comes, because if you've not experienced something, you live long. And my grandmother used to say, you keep on living.
Right.
Right.
Keep on living.
So, we've got grief loss, pre-planning, estate planning.
Yeah.
These are powerful tools, home health, mental health, self-care, hospice, and, palliative care, health screening. You guys are going to have a health screening?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Stress tips. I can use that now. And that's
mindfulness. Yes.
Okay. And then there's going to be a chair exercise. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but it sounds like it's going to be fun too.
Right here. Wave your hands like you know it. Let's get that going. And that matters.
I like it.
Love it. To breathe in
and so
breathe out.
It looks like there's going to be a live Zoom broadcast as well for this.
Yes.
All right, so there's the information right there on the screen, folks. I'm gonna put it back up one more time. And if you want to connect with Darlene, I'm looking forward to this podcast. Please tell me that you'll come back on just before you do the podcast so you can tell us more about it.
I look forward to coming back on, but I wanted to say just another part of information. Okay. If you're out there today and you need help and you're having problems with depression, crying spells, mood swings, feeling like you want to give up, there's hope and there's help, and you can call 988. They're available 24 hours a day, because there's hope, there's resources, and it is my hope that I will spread the hope, spread the love, spread the peace through my work experiences, my personal experiences in losing my relatives, that taught me that, again, that I had to work on my own wellness. I had to stop to reassess my own life, because, again, the physical side of grief, those symptoms come into, that's going to be part of the podcast, talking about those parts of you that go through, because it's a whole body, mind, and spirit situation that you go through when you lose a loved one. So we don't look like what we've been through. I didn't cry, so I praise God for that.
Yes,
because I've been doing a lot
and
of
I didn't cry either, because
my tears have been bottled up.
Such a sweet lady.
Let
me tell you, I'm proud of your family, and that, all families can be connected to community. We got to get back to some of that. But I just want to thank you so much today for coming on Hey Cousins podcast, and I'll go ahead and reveal she's not a real cousin. She's a play cousin, but I love her like a real cousin.
Well, your mama was my mama's cousin, and it was a good cousin connected through my fitness facilities. So it's cousins, yes. It's us linking hands together, and you and I have linked hands along with your husband, along with my daughter, and we need you to continue to listen to what we will bring to you. And I want to thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. You are so
welcome. You are so welcome. I just want to say thank you again for coming on Hey Cuz podcast. And if you want to connect with Darlene Leysath, and the event is called Empowering the Temple, then I'm going to need for you to check out what's going on in the link below. And I'm also going to connect. I will put a link there as well so that you can connect to Darlene's Facebook page or wherever you can find her. She's a busy lady, so she's got to go. So we had to keep this simple and sweet today. But don't miss any opportunity to connect with Empowering the Temple, because your life will be blessed as mine has already been by it. So thank you so much. And until next time, I'll say what we always say. Bye, cuz.
Bye, cousin. And I'm sending kisses and hugs.
Yes.
Hi, this is Darlene Carlton Leysath, and you are tuned into Hey Cuz podcast with Sylvia J.
Thank you for joining this episode of the Hey Cuz podcast with me, your host, Olivia J. I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to post your comments. We'd love to hear from you.